Okay, so for the base pieces on here, this is the inside flap now, I've got, working from left to right, small flap I've cut a piece of the green paper in 3 3/4 by 2.5, or if you've changed your dimensions, just big enough to cover that inside flap with a black border. And then the middle piece, I've sort of improvised and stuck 2 pieces of paper together so that they become 3 3/4 inches deep by 6 1/4 inches long. And then, lost it, for the very end flap, I've got a piece here that is 4 3/4 by 3.5. And then I'll tell you what we do with that one in a minute. So let's start this side and stick them down. So I'm just going to use my tacky glue. I don't know if you can see that. Not very exciting, is it, watching someone gluing something? Okay, let's whiz around here as quick as I can. Just work it towards the edges. A little bit in the middle just to hold it down, and then again I've inked this piece before I started. Let's just stick that on there. Now I told you wrong, that little circle there I actually stuck on afterwards, so I've cut another one. I'm just going to ink that. And I'm going to stick it over the top there just to finish that off. Okay. Stick that there. That's a 1-inch circle, cut with just a cheap circle punch. Next we're going to stick down this middle piece. Again, I'm going to use my tacky glue. The border that I've used here is a Martha Stewart punch again. Just, what is it called, the scalloped hole punch? I'm not sure. But as you can see, I've made this piece up from a couple of different bits of paper. I will take that tape off, I think, as well. So glue all over. Let's just peel the tape off. I'm just going to work it over the scallops so that they stick down. Just work it towards the edges. Okay. Let's just get the glue off. Right. Stick down. Got it in the right place. So that's the base for the middle bit. And then the last piece, slightly different. I've cut it out so it's 4 3/4 by, let's move into the middle, sorry, 4 3/4 by 3.5. I don't know if you can see. Because I've used the Jingle Bells paper, I thought I'd followed the lines that the hymn sheets follow on the paper, but I didn't. But what I wanted to do was to make another pocket on here, but make it a little bit more interesting. So I cut at an angle so that I could fit one of the hymn sheets underneath, and the carol sheets underneath. I've cut that carol sheet down so that it's the same size as, or same depth as the paper, which is 3.5 inches. and then I'm going to stick the carol sheet down on these two sides, and what that does is give a small pocket here and then another pocket underneath there. So let me just do that. So which sides am I doing? I come to do this and then I find I stick the wrong sides down. So this needs, if you're going to do this, this needs to go together before sticking this paper down. So let's just slide that in, position it together, make sure the edges are straight, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue under here just to hold that down as well. Let's just move that out of the way. But only along the bottom edge. Let's just stick that down. Right, let me just get the glue off my hands. Okay, and then that piece is ready to stick down as well. So a little bit of glue on the back. Keep forgetting I'm working upside down, which is quite difficult. Okay. I did put a little strip of green across the corner there, which I hadn't done on the original one, which I thought looked quite nice. So we've got a pocket here and a pocket here, ready to put our tags in. Now let's decorate the middle piece. Using the lines, this is the piece that uses the lines on the hymn sheets, or the carol sheets, I'd cut across one of the, I think this was a corner possibly, so I just cut across because what I wanted to get was a pointy pocket, and I inked it up, and now I'm just going to stick that down. So I had an accident with this and cut the wrong, I'd actually cut it in the wrong place, but I don't think we'll see that. So stuck it back together again, and now I'm going to glue across this long bottom just to hold it down, and up the side. Okay, let's just flatten that down. Turn it over and then just line it up with that bottom edge. So I've got a nice pocket there, and then I wanted to add a little bit more detail over the top, so I cut a green corner out, and again trim the edge with the Martha Stewart scallop punch, and I'm just going to stick that down. There weren't any dimensions really for this, it was just a corner of paper, and I just thought, oh, that would look quite nice. And that just sits over there like that. And again, that gives another pocket. So all that's left to do now is the detail on here. And what I did for that was, I've made up my little tags actually that go in here. Shall I zoom in again? Okay. Already, and there were 4 of them, I think. There was one there, one little one that fitted in there, and then over here I think there were 2, one that sat behind there and one that sat in there like that. And for this one oh, just for the tags, all I did was cut out the pictures from, or the little greeting tags from the paper, and then cut black backgrounds 1/4 of an inch bigger, cut little tabs from the tiny tabs and tags die, that's the alterations die, stuck those on first and then put the picture over the top. So they're plain on the back and then they've got the little tag on the front. So I've done 4 of those, but for this one I wanted to put a belly band around it. So what I did was cut, this is half an inch strip of the holly paper, and then I decided the angle I wanted the belly band to be and folded it around one side of the tag and move into the middle. Just moved it out slightly and then folded it around the other side of the tag, and that gave me the right size for that to slip in and out of. And then I trimmed off the back bits. Sorry, I'm going off camera. And trimmed off the bits that stick up at an angle. And then that just fits really nicely around the tag, and then I stuck it down. Decide where, oh, actually that's come out a bit too big. Let's just fiddle with it. Okay, I'm going to have it coming up from that bottom corner. So with the tag still in it, I'm just going to stick it down. So a little bit of glue on the back, not too much, only on the little bits of that strip that are folding over. And then just place it down. So let's just move that out now. Oh, that one needs trimming again. It's very faffy, this scrapbooking. Trim that off, stick it back down. Okay, and then your little tag will slide, she says. No, it won't. That's why I do it and stick it all down with the tag inside it. There we are. Have I just done that all off camera? I'm so sorry. I got a bit engrossed. Okay, so that is the inside finished, all but one tag. So all that's left to do now is for the to cut out the big tag that goes in the middle of this centerpiece here, and that was just one of the 12 by 12 cutouts, and I've mounted it on a black backing, which is 1/4 of an inch bigger than the actual picture, and then using my Stampin' Up tab punch, just cut out a tab for the top. I just off the camera again, I'm sorry. And that one just fits inside there at an angle. And that's it. And then it all folds up, and that's ready to stick onto a paper bag, which is here. Like that. And to stick it all together, I just used the 3mm tape on the back. So let me just do that, and then we'll put it all together. I'm going to zoom out again. and then you can see, ooh, not that far. So I've put 3mm tape all the way around the edges, and then just one strip of tape from my ATG gun just to hold the centre down. And then I'm just going to position that where I want it on the bag. Now, each of the bags has a semicircle cut out of the end, which I think we'll do now before I stick that on. I cut that with, this is just, is it a 1.5 inch punch? Let me just measure it. No, it's 2 inches. So my 2-inch circle punch, and I'm just going to just centre it by sight and cut out a semicircle. Is it going to work? Perhaps not. Yes, it has. That's great. I don't find them easy to use, and I don't know whether that's because I'm left-handed. Then I'm just going to ink that. Okay, so that's a semicircle cut out, ready for the tag that goes inside. Now we can line this up where you want it to go. Okay. Is it straight? Yeah, I think so. Stick it down, press it hard, open it up. And that, everybody, is page 1 finished. Yeah. For the tags inside, because these paper bags are quite long, I've got tags that are 7 inches long, and then if you follow me, I always put a mount for photographs to go in, and I use my little slot, corner slot punch. You can get this from the Fiskars website, or readily available on the net, made by Fiskars. This is just a cheap Hobbycraft equivalent, but I like to use that, and then without chopping photos up, you can add them into, or people can add them into the books or the albums. So the photo, the black is 7 inches. This top piece is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. Oh, and the black one is 4.5 inches wide. So 7 inches long, 4.5 inches wide. This one is 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then I've just cut off the corners of the photo mat. That stuck together, let me just show you, slots inside the paper bag, she says. Is it not going to? Oh gosh, I'm having a right faffy day today. Right, and it goes like that, and just lines up with the edge of that semicircle that I've cut out. In the original album that I made, I used the Graphic 45 staple buttons, but I've made my own for this one, and I've used the Nestabilities circle, the smallest circle, and cut 2 pieces of paper from bits and pieces left over from the collection, and then there's a piece of chipboard inside, and then half, I've done the ribbon up the wrong way, I've stuck the front piece down completely, and then half stuck, I don't know if you can see, the back piece, because the idea is that that slots over the tag so that you get button at the back, button at the front, and then all the bows all faced forwards. But I just need to undo this bow, and well, do I need to undo the bow, or can I pull the back of that off? Oh yeah, let's just remove the back of that. I always do something wrong or stick something the wrong way. That's it, so now we can stick it on. So let's stick that top bit down. I've inked this all the way around as well with Vintage Photo. Now I'm going to put some glue in there, both sides. And that's going to just fit, let's turn that round and face me, just fit over the top of that tag. So I've centred it up, now I'm just going to hold it down for a couple of minutes. So centred it up, pushed the tag on, or pushed the button on, right up to the holes that I'd punched. Pressed it down, let's keep it pressed down for a minute. And that just gives a nice neat back to the tag, I think. And then that will just fit on the top of there. And it all goes in the bag. Just like that. So I hope you've enjoyed that, everybody. Sorry about the faff, and look forward to seeing you for page 2.